victims and their families. Actor Clark Gregg joins us today to talk about the impact of this ruling. So he started the Netflix series Painkiller, if you haven't seen it. It told the saga of the Sackler family and OxyContin. Clark, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I played Arthur Sackler, the first of the Sackler pharmaceutical family.
Yes, you did. And you're best known, though, for playing a hero. But in Painkiller, you kind of take this villainous turn. What made you want to take this role?
I think this story is really important. It's based on a book called Empire of Pain, a wonderful book that really examines the way that someone like Arthur Sackler could come to this country and really do amazing things and make a business for himself. And then how both he and the family, as in the story we tell, could really lose their way and engage in practices that, according to the courts, have been harmful, if not fatal, to tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know this issue inside and out. What's your reaction to the ruling?
Inside and out, I would not say. I
No?
still am an actor and a filmmaker. It seems odd to me, as someone who observes these things, that someone, if they have enough money, can do things like, the courts have said these people did, which is to pay doctors to say these medications were not as addictive as they are. I have experience in the recovery community. Anyone who does has seen the devastation, the loss of life as a result of these drugs. And I don't think those people should be able to use the bankruptcy laws to escape responsibility for their crimes. And the last I had checked, and again, I'm not an expert, there wasn't a single member of the Sackler family who had actually been charged, which for those of us who are not mega billionaires is a very different outcome than one would have.
Yeah. Well, my producers have told me that you spoke out in the past about your own sobriety. So how does living in recovery give you a unique perspective for this role and for this interview even?
That's a really good question. I would say that when you spend time in recovery or being sober, or if you have had an experience in alcoholism or addiction, you kind of drop the idea that anyone who does this is somehow morally bankrupt. It's a family disease. It's a genetic disease very often. It's a social disease in that it's passed down in families. And that really the point of recovery is to help people get into a community where they can get help. And when people are told, and very often in this particular addiction, the opioid crisis, people from, what you would call a normal walk of life, I don't agree with it, but a cheerleader, people would get injured, back injuries. They would get prescribed these crazy doses of opioids from doctors who had been told one thing that wasn't true. And pretty soon they were deeply hooked and unable to get pain relief, unable to get off the meds they were on, and in terrible, terrible trouble.
And that's what the movie really articulates there, a lot of different walks of life. What was the hardest part about your own recovery?
I think it's a really good question. For me, the hardest part, and for a lot of people I know, is accepting that there is something in your life that no matter how much willpower or strength you might think you have, that you're powerless over. That's step one in 12-step work. And, it took a while to go, I can't defeat this habit on my own. And I needed community, and I needed the support of my loved ones and my family.
Yeah, well, you're doing something to try to reverse the trends that we're seeing across the country. I want to show some numbers that are from the Center for Disease Control. Startling. 107, this is from 2023. 107,543 drug overdose deaths here in the United States. 81,000 of those were related to opioids. So that's opioids being a factor in 75% of the overdose deaths. So what do you think needs to be done? I mean, it's such a big question and a broad question, but having your own experience, having starred in this in Painkiller, having to study for the role as well, what's the answer?
I don't know if I have the answer, but I guess I can say, as someone who grew up in this country, in this, even as early as the 60s and 70s, the war on drugs, it's hard to really see how that worked. Incarceration, I don't really see how that's worked. You know, the pure legalization is also very problematic. So it just seems like there's ways of kind of approaching this as a social problem and one that needs to be destigmatized, that has mental health elements to it very often, and making it possible for people who are in trouble to, without shame or stigma, get help, get recovery, get community.
Yeah, and our doctors really need to tell patients and their family members, whoever comes to the appointments with them, to use them sparingly, right? And ask for accountability ahead of time. And you know, it's something you probably can't wrap your head around until you're in the thick of it, but perhaps that could even help. I understand you didn't get to promote the series because of the strikes. What do you wish people knew about the film and just about this issue?
It's actually a Netflix limited series, as I said, based on this book, with an amazing cast: Matthew Broderick, Wes Duchovny, Pete Berg, the wonderful actor and filmmaker, directed it from a script by Micah Fitzerman Blue and Noah Harpster. And I think it attacks it from a number of different perspectives. A lawyer trying to investigate the case, investigate the Sacklers, Arthur Sackler, the drama within the Sackler family. You know who, I guess this is my political perspective, in some ways are pursuing the American dream of pursuing ultimate wealth. But at a certain point, they start to bend the law, bend all morality to try to keep that going and look for more and more and more wealth. And it ends up becoming very perverted and very harmful to this nation. I mean, the number of families who've been touched by the decisions made in a corporation, well, just period, but in this particular corporation, is startling.
Well, all of our friends at home hopefully will tune in and maybe watch it again if you've seen it before.
On Netflix.
Yes, it's a drama on Netflix, so check it out. And we appreciate you coming on the program, and thank you for sharing your story. I know that's not easy to do, so thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks. Clark Gregg. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.